Okie doke. So, alright, so steal. But we'll go through offense first. I think it's just offense is a little bit more simple than I think defense is. Defense gets a little bit more complicated when you have to start thinking about where teams are rotating, what team they're playing, kind of the standards and like the norms of this map. So, uh, kind of the meta that most people are gonna do is that they're gonna send like a little hit squad to A. They're gonna cap A, like Pyro Scout, Soldier, whatever. You might have some people that are trying to do, like trying to get a little bit of pressure going in B while A's being capped, like your demo men might be playing up. The biggest thing here though is until A is capped, you kind of just want your NG to put his gun like in this doorway, and then you just abuse the shit out of its hitbox. And you just hold down this hallway and you just make sure that like sniper can't peek it or something. You can like look here for like a cheeky little crack shot on, I don't know, maybe a soldier's gonna be crouched or like sniper's trying to play aggro, but the biggest thing here, at least for when you're trying to take control of like this B side, is just making sure that sniper doesn't peek. After that, it kind of turns into you have a couple of options. Peeking like this just feels like shit, because if the demo man is good, you're just gonna be jiggle peeking here, one stick, one stick, one stick the whole time. And also Pyro's gonna jiggle it. So normally what I do is I just full send, like wait all the way back here and with a full charge, and then just hope that somebody swings into me and I can kill them, like demo or Pyro. You can usually catch them on the way back. The other play that you can do is if like nothing's peeking you, you can slow walk up these stairs, and you could look for either heavy to be overhealed or like soldier. Cause you can tank like one or two rockets here. Like as you're walking up, you can tank like splash, 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 and then you peek, and then you get a kill here, which is really really nice. Cause like if your team can take control of upper, the game is just super super free. Cause then like you can peek on here, you can peek through the window, you can also just like look through the fence, see where everyone is. You can angle people out if people start coming like back here towards the truck side, right? You can angle off sniper that's probably going to be around this area. So getting this like little cheeky peek here where you get like a full shot headshot on somebody is like really really nice. But really, you're kind of having to play a lot of post, and you're kind of just like having to like maneuver around eating spam and also just like getting overhealed. It's really all this kind of comes down to. We don't have to deal with this ladder angle anymore. So it's not the end of the world, but like sniper might be playing here, he might be like crouched up, so this is kind of a difficult shot. If you think that like their demo man just shot a bunch of sticks and you can catch him on like a reload window, you can definitely walk out like this far, or maybe like a little bit here. But you just have to be careful because there's gonna be a gun. If the gun's not ringled, you can time it with one of your soldiers' rockets, and the instant that you see the rocket hit, you can full charge the unringled sentry, and it'll kill level 3 with like a rocket plus your full charge. Other than that, what's gonna happen is that you guys are just gonna take an Uber exchange through here. It's gonna turn into utter chaos. People might end up like up here and shit. So, realistically, pushing B is just all kind of just kind of doing with whatever you can. There's no like great answer. If you can get up top here, it's super super nice, because then you can, like I said, look through the fence and stuff. But that's kind of just ass, because you're gonna be just eating shit from spam. So just making sure that you're staying alive. If your medic at any point is like, let's say coming out of spawn, 100% I would be holding this. I always hold this because this is like the one angle that I can instantly kill. So if my team is walking, I'm usually just sitting here walking slow up with the scope to take this kind of space. So kind of keep that in mind. You have to kind of watch angles that your team can't really watch. So if you notice that your demo man just shot off a bunch of sticks, you have to like hold this angle now. Common sniper angles that you might play is you might have to worry about this box's angle or the barrel angle, this barrel angle. He might go for a drop shot where he falls off of the little scaffolding bridge thing there. Not super common, but it might happen, so just kind of be aware of it. But other than that, I just usually sit here. If he goes up for the drop shot, I'm not usually too concerned. And usually a lot of the times too, I'll also just like tank a headshot, because I'll most likely be 185. So if like sniper just like wide swing headshots me, I'll sit there and tank it, and then I'll just headshot him back and kill him. You do have one kind of cheese play where you can go the drop shot angle off drop down. The ent remove. Yeah, so
Yeah, I know that one.
you can come here, and I forget where I used to aim. I think it was like at this dot or like somewhere around here. So you basically just wait, then you drop. It's awkward, but basically your whole point is, yeah, you drop down here. They don't have time to like call you. They don't have time to like react to you, and the medic 9 times out of 10 will be from like in this area here, usually hiding in the dispenser or something like that. So, you can do that if you want to try and drop the medic. If your team is like if they're kind of tired and they need pressure, you can also go A. This is a little bit of a longer way to play, but like if your team is struggling to take B, you might have to help support on some E pressure. So on E pressure, basically you just make this big long rotate, and you would go to you'd go to this side, and you can either play window and look into wishbone, or you can play window looking here, or you can even just get all the way up top and play around the window. Or on like the little shed thing. This has like really dumb hitbox, right? You can see, you think that you should be able to shoot here, but you actually can't because if you look at my dot, so there's actually like the hitbox for this like little shutter is actually way lower than what it looks like. So just kind of keep this in mind when you're trying to, if you're trying to use this angle and you're wondering like why you can't kill anyone. So try and use the right window, but it also makes you much more vulnerable. So kind of keep that in mind. But if, like I said, that's only if your team really needs help. If your team is gonna go for like the straight up A to E push, usually combo will play around there to shut down wishbone, and then we'll have to be like juggling around which spawn door we're taking, what peak we're taking, etc. That's kind of pushing B. Man, bind H dot no clip. Oh, okay. Just gonna make things easier. I'll just actually no clip once. When your team is capping point, I would, at least when I played, I always made sure that I held window for snipers that are trying to like recontest or like re-peak point. So this is usually what I looked at. It just kind of, you have to kind of make a decision whether like where your team is at, right? If you're like all the way back here capping point looking here, you better have people up front. If no one's up front and you're the furthest one up, I'm probably playing like this angle. Or like I'm even further back. Maybe I'm even playing up on top of here or something. But I'm basically playing over here, waiting for people to get up. When people get up, then you like get on point and hold upper. Kind of it for B. Alright, let's go over C. While I'm here. Rid of these doors. Okay. So C. So usually I'll always make sure that I time a swing with somebody. So usually like Pyro, whether it's Scout, Demo. Usually there's like a 3-2-1 call and we both swing. The whole reason is to deny a sniper here. He has to like make a very quick adjustment. You're gonna be overhealed. And then I'll walk this up, just like the same thing like what we talked about on B, but now we're attacking like after B is capped. I'll walk this up a little bit with my team. Like holding for sniper in case he walks. Because I don't want my medic to die, right? So it's kind of difficult for anyone else to really hold this super successfully, so just be careful. There's usually sticky traps here. Might be sticky traps here. There's also either 1 or 2 places that there could be sticky traps, so kind of giving you guys more info. Once you kind of take control of Wishbone, and like let's say either their demos like right here, or maybe they've fallen back and they're all the way back on C, then you have like a couple of choices you can make. You can try and help. You can try and like hold this window, or you can try and like hold spawn, or you can like even start getting super aggro where you're peeking like point, and maybe you go like the old spawn door. If you want to pressure window, heaven or power, whatever you guys call it, usually there's gonna be a level 3. You don't make this play solo though. There has to be some sort of coordination with spy, with soldier. That's basically saying like our team's objective now after B is capped is we're gonna pressure power and we're gonna get control of this. Because if you can get soldier up here, it's super strong to cut off rotates. Then you guys can put pressure on E, and when you put pressure on E, now the defensive team is gonna go all the way back into spawn to contest it, and then your combo can walk out and take C cap. But as far as what you can do, you can either, like I said, you can play here, player window, but like spawn door here is like super strong because you can hide, and then you can just stay hidden, right? Like if you see snipers like watching you, you can like jump peek it, you can jiggle it, you can do all sorts of things. So, now if your team is kind of stubborn and like you can't really pressure power at all, and you kind of need something else, you can go all the way back around, and you can come slow door. But like I said, once again, I usually always come here with soldier, and then I just make sure I walk this up. Just make sure that you or your soldier are clearing these kind of close angles. Sometimes heavies will like to play like on like this, I don't know, like a rock around here. Play like here and they'll like mulch you or something. So gonna keep that in mind. But yeah, you can also come here, look for SVS, peek out, look, clear angles. You can even look into here in case he's holding wishbone. You can swing far right, maybe kill heavy that's posted, or maybe you can even shoot like Medic's AFK in the corner while demo is still like spamming your team. There's like tons of plays that you can make here. It all just kind of comes down to you guys eventually just experimenting with everything and figuring out like what works for you plus your team. If B is capped, I don't really recommend you guys ever coming through. Like, I don't think this is really a big benefit for you guys to come this side and like come through lobby, unless you want to come here. But I still just feel like, I don't know, this rotate feels a little bit wonky, especially if you're already on B. Maybe if you guys die and you're on like a respawn, you can come up into like sniper window, like help with like power pressure. This is fine. But if you have lived through like the B cap and now you're here, I don't really think it's run button. I don't think that there's a great reason for you to like rotate all the way back through spawn. I would just much rather have you guys die. They just do like some like suicide play, have like a 4-second respawn timer, and then eventually you just spawn back up as opposed to just walking. That's one thing to kind of think about on this map, is it's often faster, especially if you're like all the way up here, for you to die, like jump in pit or just like sack or do something, than it is for you guys to like walk all the way back because of how low the blue side respawn timers are. So kind of keep that in mind. Now, once you guys have successfully kind of got C and you're kind of like your capping point, usually I'll hold around here and I'll hold like this crack shot, waiting for any sort of re-aggression. And then this is my angle. I'm telling my team like, hey, I'm watching here, so then they can watch like balcony, or they can like watch my back while everyone's kind of just cowering. You can also play here, looking there, but same thing really. Okay. C is capped now. So 9 times out of 10, your team is going to go back into wishbone. I don't really recommend Death Hallway unless your team knows why, like when to take this and why to take this, because this is kind of suicide. It's suicide because okay, I guess I just can't. Okay, whatever. So it's suicide because this is red spawn, and they can just keep constantly opening up the shutter door and spamming you, and also banny binding at the same time. So then they're always at full health. So Death Hallway has to be like, there has to be a very good reason why you guys are coming to death. Like there's no one alive or whatever. But like I said, most times people are gonna come here. And now combo is probably gonna be rotating inside of lobby. So if their combo is rotating into lobby now, you have like a couple of plays. So there is gonna be a bridge here now. So that's kind of cool. So you can like swing on the point. You can help, like I said, you can help with power pressure. You can spawn camp the door. Sniper's probably gonna start contesting you. This is probably where you're gonna start getting the majority of your SVS through this window, or if you can look through the lobby window and see if Sniper's gonna peek this side. But really, the most of the time you're gonna just run across, or at least your team's gonna run across, and then you're just gonna look to support, and then you're just kind of looking to pick people off. You can come back, like I said, play spawn door, etc. Your whole goal is for the offense to get control of this lobby, because getting lobby control basically means that you've cut off like their main reinforcement, and now you can pressure like their spawn while being here. which is the total opposite side of being Wish. So after combo pushes, like your combo pushes, you guys get lobby control, and you guys are pushing D. Usually I'll play either looking up top or I'll look through the fences here. These don't actually have a hitbox, as you can see my reticle is not shown. So you can snipe through these. So it's kind of just like assuming that they don't even exist. So you can hold for respawns, you can hold for respawns, you can hold for a couple of things. I don't really ever play point. If I'm going to kind of play something a little bit more aggro, I might be like crouching here, looking for somebody in like power, or looking for like an engineer or whatever, but same thing, you can kind of be all the way back here and just be a little bit more safe. So pushing D is kind of, this is where the map kind of just starts breaking down into utter chaos for a lot of people. You can go sniper window if your team is like helping E. You can play spawn door if your team is more pressuring E than they are D. There's no real like, this is how you should play it, right? Because a lot of teams, what they'll do is that they'll go E, or they'll go A, B, C, and then capturing D is kind of difficult. So they'll have to split pressure onto E, make the enemy team move, and then they can come around, then they can cap D. That's really the only way that like D can easily be capped. You have to pressure E first, make them come here. If they're having to be forced to come to this packet window, it's usually free sniping, right? If you're in Wishbone, or if you're on the opposite side, right? If your team has, like I said, there's a bridge here, so it's really, really easy for your team just to come here and then, or for you to look here and kill people as they're trying to pressure. One cheeky angle that you're gonna have to look out for is that snipers can start playing down here now, off respawn, right? The defensive sniper can rotate through, and then instead of coming into Wish, he just comes down this low side. And this is a really, really popular angle where sniper might be hidden, hidden, gets a full charge, peaks point, right? So just kind of be aware of this as a possibility for what he might do. And usually I'll try and like watch that or something, like I'll come here. Or maybe like I'll even play like point side or something, so kind of keep that in mind. But yeah, the biggest thing is that you're just gonna kind of have to figure out how to play this and like how to play around your combo. D and E are probably the most, not complicated, but like difficult parts of the map to explain to people, because there's just so much that you can do. Things not to do: don't push through C to Death Hallway. This is garbage. Don't come up here. So really you're mainly stuck to Wishbone, helping point, whether that's via your spawn door or their old spawn door here, or you're playing lobby. If your team is struggling to take lobby control, it's definitely worth for you guys to come here and see if you can like slow peek something, and see if you can kill like a demo or a heavy, or especially if you can hit like a timing to where like your team is in Wishbone but you're on like a respawn, so maybe you come here and then you can shoot somebody in the back of the head. The sniper window up here is also okay, because you do have a lobby angle that you can see through. You can see this. So this is an angle that you can play, but you can also easily just get spammed. You can get rocketed by the sentry gun, etc. So, your main priority, though, in my opinion, if your team is really struggling to take lobby control, is just come up here and kind of be annoying to the people that are up in power, assuming that your team doesn't already have it. If your team has power, this map becomes very, very easy. But if your team doesn't prioritize taking that or removing the gun, the map becomes very difficult now. So that's kind of it. Do you guys have any questions on offense? The map is kind of difficult to explain, but it makes more sense the more you play it.
No.
Alright. Go over defense. Okay. So let's start. So, on defense, no, at least, so I've never defended A. I know some people like come here for like the cheeky shot or something, but I don't. Usually what I'll do is that I'll have somebody come for me, whether like my pyro peeks this, or like maybe I can see this like off respawn. You should be able to see. So like the shuttered doors here don't actually fully close during setup time, so you can sometimes even see you can see the gun. Like you can see the gun's like little feet being set up. if the gun's feet are being set up and you like, or like you jiggle this, and you see sniper there, I never repeat this angle, just because it's there's nothing that you're gonna accomplish here that is like worth you dying for. Right? It's really not the biggest of deals if you die and A is not capped and it's just started being capped. So you kind of have like a freebie death if you want, but it's really not something that I really would recommend. You can hold something aggro like this, where you're holding kind of like an off angle, but you're not peeking down the hallway. Or at least like, you know, sniper might hold this angle, or he's gonna be playing around his gun, etc. Usually the biggest thing with after like A is captured is that your spy is in a position where he's usually looking through the door, the slow door that's opening here. So then he knows who need like how many people that they're gonna be sending through lobby for pressure, right? So usually what happens is after A is capped on the offense, the flank, scout, NG, soldier will make their way into lobby with spy. And like then they'll start like trying to either go for like rat pressure where they come all the way to like your wishbone, come here as like a pinch with their team coming through B main, or they'll start pressuring E a little bit, making your flank have to come back or deal with it. NGs love to put like little cheeky like teleporters like all the way back here or something, so there's like all sorts of stuff. But the biggest thing and the reason why I'm telling you guys that it's important to listen to your spy is usually, at least in help, I was one of the first people that would rotate off. I don't think sniper defending B has a lot of worth when you're the defensive team. Because really, like, you're just gonna be eating spam the whole time, you're gonna be put on fire constantly. It's not fun. You're gonna have to worry about the SVS the whole time. It's just not a good time. So if I got a call that there was a lot of people coming to A from my spy, I was always one of the first people to make the rotate to help and to come, and I'd run through spawn door, and then I'd just basically come here, and then I'd just sit here and hold it. The slow door might not be ready, or might not be opened yet, so you have enough rotate time to come all the way back, get to here, have a full charge, and then you can start helping your flank defend. And then in the meantime, your spy is going to be calming like, hey, there's not coming A anymore, I don't see anything on A. Okay, if you get that call, then you just go back to B. And now you play like around here, maybe you play drop down a little bit, start inching, you know, whatever. Then the map just kind of comes back to normal. But then, like, let's say you get a comm from your spy again saying, they're going back. Okay, well, then you just make the same rotate back into your A spawn door, and you look here again, right? So, this map is big on communication from your team, because it really, the more comms that you get on, like, where people are, the better you can set yourself up. If I know that, like, our team has been pushed out of upper B, I'll usually fall back and try and hold this. The biggest thing is just making sure that somebody sees you, because now, let's say for example, if like soldier is gonna keep my attention here, this is perfectly fine because them taking advantage of upper is much more important than me being able to like look down main and kill people here. I'd much rather just trust to my team and like sticky spam and pyro spam and all this other stuff, rather than like them getting shot like from completely above them on a flank from upper. So usually I try and defend upper as much as possible. Is that this is super key. At least on B. Cheeky stuff you can do, kind of like how we talked about. You can do like the little drop down shot if you want. See what you can kill maybe. You can do the barrel peek. I don't really recommend it. I think it's just kind of cheesy. You're probably just gonna die. Not super worth. You can, if you get a call early enough that like, hey, sniper's going drop down, you can also just come here and hold for the drop. But basically, at the end of the day, in my opinion, sniper's not really doing a ton by peeking here. There's not really a big benefit. The other issue is that, hey, look at this nifty little corner that I'm right next to you. If you start getting aggro, now you can easily get backstabbed if your pyro's not spy checking well. So I usually will just come here, hold, or maybe I'll even come up a little bit to get off this wall corner, and then have my pyro kind of sitting on me. That's kind of it for defending B. There is another play that you could do. You can come up, this is all during setup time, right? So in setup time, you can also come up here to support your team, where now you basically just play on top of the barrel, and you can basically just help defend against soldier, defend against heavy pushes, and then you just come to the edge, and then your medic can come up here and heal you, then you jump back, right? So it's just another way. But for me, it was more important for me and my team that I at least rotated back to spawn and helped out lobby, because we kind of struggled with the A to E pressure if I didn't come here early enough. And this is the only way for them to get in, right? So if you don't see anyone coming here, then usually I would just rotate all the way back. And just kind of make your own decisions. So that's kind of defending B. Let's go over defending C. So B is just capped now. B is capped. I personally will only play this angle for one shot, and I'm only ever gonna be here if I'm on like a fallout from like B, right? Like if they're taking B point, I'm in like spawn or whatever, and I like just kind of brain off, come here. Okay, well now I'm dipping, and I'm only gonna come here for like the one shot. Doesn't matter who it is, I'm taking one shot because I don't want to get stuck here. One shot and I'm just dipping. There's no point for you to be here. Now what you kind of have to start thinking about is, like we talked about, how important power is, especially in higher skill divisions, is that teams will now start pressuring power a lot more. So what that means is sniper might go to window, their team might come here, like we kind of talked about, demo man, sniper, soldier, you know, so you can anticipate the fact that they're going to come here, and you could be here already, or you could be in the window already, anticipating them, right? Like, you could hide from them, get a full charge, then peek out, and then dome somebody, right? So you're anticipating the pressure into power. If you get the call that, hey, they're not coming here, then you just run through the spawn door. Run all the way back up. And now you're already on C, right? And then you just come here. You can either look into cliff, you can look onto the ground here. It's just not important for you as a sniper to be playing in Wish, to be here, because if your team's not watching cliff, they just, man, they just get shut down on, right? But if you can be all the way in the back here and you're watching cliff, even if you lose SVS or like you get stabbed or something, at least that means that you can at least give a warning to your people that are in Wishbone. But yeah, it's one of the reasons, because usually what'll happen is that you come Wish, you're peeking here, your demo's peeking here, your medic's healing everybody, your pyro's just kind of spy checking here. No one's really paying attention to cliff. So usually I will rotate between this angle and then running through spawn, rotate through this angle. Whether you're killing sniper that goes door, killing demo, oh my god, there's a visible door here because I'm in spawn. Whether, even if you come power, because you're anticipating sniper gonna go the window, right? Maybe you're peeking here one life, maybe you peek here. There's like all sorts of plays for you guys to make. It's just all based on whatever information you're given. It's really all that this comes down to. You guys will probably die at some point just in the back, right? Like, if I'm playing here, I might die to spy, I might die to like a soldier flank. I just think that the odds of it happening are pretty low, that it's not really like worth. Plus, if you do start getting shot, you just dip back into spawn real quick. You hit your bandy bind once you get here. There's a medical cabinet here that you can just touch. So, easy like survivability for you. But yeah, the biggest thing is just making sure that you recognize where the enemy combo is rotating to. So if they're rotating Wishbone, okay, how far up in Wish? Are they aggro? Are they pushing C Wishbone? Are they helping power? But now they're spamming here is going to determine where you rotate to. Alright, makes sense?
Yes.
Let's talk about D. So, like I said, once C is capped, the map kind of opens up. Now you kind of have like two kind of main ideas that you can play around with. One, if you don't know where anyone is and your combo is in lobby, you can come here expecting like a death hall push, maybe a soldier got called, a scout, maybe their whole combo is, and you can play kind of safe here. Or you play with your combo in lobby, where you can peek here expecting like an A push, or maybe you're coming like left side lobby or right side lobby here, to look at Wishbone if they're like running back, right? So they just capped C, they're gonna run back. There's a little jump here if you guys didn't know. Jump up on top is faster as opposed to needing to run all the way around or something. So it'll just save you a second, but kind of something nifty to know. So after they cap C and they're starting to come here, you might be able to catch them off guard with how quick you are. And maybe now you're already here, and now you take a, maybe you kill Med, maybe you kill them. Always be looking through the window to kind of see like, oh shit, I just saw 3 people cross from left to right, right? If I'm the enemy team, and I just saw like 4 people do this, okay, well hey, they're most likely going to spawn all the way around, people will do this, and they're gonna come all the way back to here. Maybe this is their rotate now, right? They say, screw it, we can't really do anything in Wishbone anymore. It's kind of worthless. Alright, we're just gonna sack the time, take the 30 seconds with like whip or whatever, and run all the way back to spawn. People will do this, so kind of keep that in mind of how people are shifting, right? If you're in lobby staring at these people doing this, you're gonna be able to kind of get an idea. Okay, well shit, I just saw 3 people push. Okay, well I don't need to be here anymore, right? Looking Wish. Now I need to be behind me looking at A main. Right, and so you can kind of already set yourself up based off of like the info that you've already seen, right? And hopefully maybe you have a spy over here. Your spy is coming. Oh shit, they're all coming A. Okay, well now you're already prepared for it, right? The other thing that could happen if C is capped, then they start pressuring power a lot more because, like I said, this bridge is gonna be here. So maybe they start running like their demo man across, helping to defend this or attack this. You might have like a heaviest soldier, like an NG up here. Right, now you're just helping out. This is probably where you're going to have more SVS. Snipers might, you know, be peeking this. Just be ready to kind of pre-fire it. It's kind of important that you guys kind of get used to some of these angles. Usually if I'm on defense, and if I know Sniper is in Wishbone, I'm usually always going to angle him out, right? I'm going to use this piece of metal, I'm going to hide behind it, and I'm going to wait for anyone to swing left to right, or if they're going to swing onto the bridge, or maybe I jiggle, right? Jiggle. Okay, I see snipers on the right side now. Right, now I'm going to play like the left side. Right, so you can kind of start figuring out how to angle him out. Right, don't come here though. I didn't even know this is a thing, but you can get shot on your way up. So that's kind of it for defending D. It's usually what it turns into is this big kind of running around of, okay, they're in Wishbone. Where can I be to most effectively help defend? Right. I'm helping defend my teammates in power. Okay, I'm getting the call that they're going back to A. I'm coming back to here. Oh, they're still in Wishbone. I want to peek a different angle. Be careful of this angle. Remember that this is a thing. So there's like tons of fun stuff that you can do. You can also, if they're pressuring D and you're aware of it, let's say like you get the call, hey, we just wiped her on D. You can get the call to run up, come here. Come to here, open, you know, go through the door, and you can even kind of like look. Maybe you can see them rotating back in the lobby, you kill a medic. This has a funky hitbox too, so kind of be aware of this, is that this pole actually can be shot through. So kind of keep that in mind, but you can just keep rotating around and saying like what info that they're going to give you. You come here, you see a bunch of people. Okay, well maybe now I need to come here, right? Maybe there's nothing that they can do to deal with me if I come here. I can shoot them in the back of the head. I can swing to people on point and stuff like that. When all hell starts breaking out, it's after D is capped, and now it's basically just kill as much shit as you can. There's no other. Once D is capped, your game is basically kind of doomed. Holding E is like nearly impossible because your respawn times are so long. Your spawn point is decently far away from like the major regroup spot. So once that kind of happens, I would, if you're gonna spawn here, right? I don't really recommend you coming D side unless you need to help people in power. If this is clear, you can definitely come here to like start helping your team on point, right? So if this side of the map from this post to the left is all clear, there's no enemies over here, definitely have your first rotation be here, look Wish, look here, look into sniper window, look across, etc. If they have full power control, you have to make a decision. Whether you come here and help fight for power, or now we're just kind of trying to play the cheese game, right? Maybe we throw in one of these. where we come here and now we're just gonna bap this guy on point. We're gonna wait again, bap. You know, sniper might be up in window, etc. So once D is capped and you're on the defense, your game is basically just over. It's all just trying to buy like 1 or 2 more seconds. And there's not really a good, not really like one solid way of doing it. So kind of just to kind of keep that in mind of help defending power. You can make the cheeky play where you just run all the way through. Run, 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 run. This is definitely viable, and I've done this in matches stuff, right? This isn't a troll. Where now you make this rotation, right? You think maybe, oh, it's a little troll, but now you have point, and instead of now being pressured outside of this window, or if you were in power, now you're shooting everyone in the back. Now obviously you're gonna get called, and people might come back for you off, especially off respawn. But it's definitely a play that you can do to buy yourself like another 10 or 15 seconds on point, especially if you don't get called while doing this, right? You can kill a heavy, maybe you kill like scout on point, etc. So you just lost like 3x time on point by you just taking a couple extra seconds of running, right? So kind of keep that one in your guys' book too for plays that you can make. But I think that's about it, fellas. I don't think there's really much more to it. Do you guys have any questions? Any scenarios? Anything that's a little bit like that you guys want some clarification on?
Nope. No.
Well,
No.
I really think that that's kind of it. I know that it's a long review. There's just a lot of scenarios, but the biggest thing that just when you're on defense, just listen for rotations, utilize what information you have, and just rotate properly based off of that. So, like obviously, if they're pushing C, you're here. You know, if they're really pushing C, you're coming here. Things like that. So, all right. If you guys have any demo reviews that you want to go through, I will be available tomorrow. I'll make myself available. From 4 p.m. Eastern till like 7 o'clock Eastern. So I know that this map is a lot. It's gonna eventually just devolve into a shit show, especially because it's like you guys are a little bit on the newer side. So you guys have played Steel, but you haven't necessarily played the competitive like Steel, where teams are a little bit more organized. So if you guys have anything, we'll go over it tomorrow. All right.
Okay. Alright.